maneuver too many screens.
All right, we are live. Hey, welcome out there, Facebook and Instagram and internet and wherever you're at, land. It's Greg Ryder from LaunchCart and Lane from LaunchCart coming at you. Now, today's training is going to be simple, sweet, and easy. And I came with a really cool idea that my team's going to love and hate. And that is, we've created this checklist, and we're working on 7 days to get your store up and running and make your first sale. That's something else we're working on. But I want to try to gamify things. I started thinking, I want to gamify this. I want to like give points and assign points to things. So Lane, as you sent me this thing, I'm like, oh, we're going to have to add a column and points. And then we'll have like a little honor system where they check off the boxes, they can scan it. And then we'll give them points for it. And then based on how many points they get, we'll give them some design credits in the marketplace.
Yeah, that'd be great. I've been looking at a lot of the stuff in the design marketplace, and there's some really cool designs that you can just grab for a couple dollars each.
All right. So, hey, if you're new to our live streaming, right above this video, there's a little piece of paragraph that says, hey, this is being streamed by StreamYard. And if you'd like to comment or ask a question, please give StreamYard access to your account or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it says, but click that link and do it. So then when you question or comment, we see your name, we see who's coming in, and we want you to put your questions in the chat box. So, click that link, give StreamYard access to Facebook, and then they can comment, and you can comment as what's going on. So here's what we're going to do today. LaunchCart checklist. Now, when you first log into your LaunchCart account, you get like a little electronic tour. And I know if you're like me, you kind of like exit and you get out of those things because you're just like, you're a guy, I don't know about women do this, but guys, we know how to fix everything. We don't need to read instructions, but that little tour that it gives you is really a cool tour. So hopefully you saw that tour and it kind of helps out a lot. Then we have our quick start tutorial guide. And that's probably an hour's worth of videos that walk you through the whole platform, how to do stuff with more detail. And I'm not sure if that's even on our checklist, but because
it is.
It is?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And what I'll do is I'll share my screen, and then you can kind of walk people through the checklist, or we'll both walk them through it, but I'll let you kind of lead. But the idea is that when you're in LaunchCart, there's three main things you have to do. You have to hook up your Printful account for your print on demand. You have to hook up your Stripe account. And then what was the third thing you have to do? There's three things.
You have to have products. You have to have some graphics, and you have to have some products. Hi, Lucy. I see you.
Oh, yeah. Create your first product. So let me share my screen here. Well, it's here. Share my screen. Boom. Okay. So now you see my screen. What I'm referring to is this box right here that says it's what's required. Right. So it says required enable payment provider, add store general settings, and then create your first product. And really, this should be a, create your Printful account for fulfillment. Maybe before things, but that's like three checklists to kind of get going. But really, it's much more to it than just that. So that's why we went to the extra effort. Lane did, I should say, to put together this checklist. And we want your help to perfect it. What should we add to it? What should we subtract? What wasn't clear about it? We want to make this really, really simple and easy for everybody. So Lane, you want to walk us through your thought process as we put this together, and then I'll chime in if I need to.
Sure. Well, so first of all, go to the screen just go to launchcart.com, and we want to talk about, initially, you're going to click on where it says create an account, or it's a try it free. You're going to click on try it free in the middle or the top right hand corner, and when it takes you to this screen, you're going to enter an email and a password and a store name. Now remember, you can change the store name, but the critical thing right at this point is write down which email you used, which password you used, and then go ahead and click on create store. So once you do that, then you'll go into the screen that Greg was showing you before this. So if you want to go back to that, and I have a couple of screens open on my computer too, if you want me to share my screen.
Well, if you want, you can do that, or you can tell you want me to go.
Yep. So what we're going to do is, the first line in the checklist is that create your store account, and make sure that you know what the username and password is, and that you can go to your email then that you submitted, and you're going to look for the launch cart welcome email. And make sure that you check for it in your spam or your junk mail. It may go to the promotions tab in Gmail or something like that. So look all over for it and make sure that you get that and verify that you receive that welcome email. And then
this is, let me comment on that real quick. This is critical, right? If we can't email and communicate with you things about your store, updates and things like that, it's really, really critical. And the way our system works is we tag you two ways. One as a store owner and then one to our newsletter. So our newsletter is where we're going to update you about trainings and, you know, different marketing strategies and things of that nature. And you could unsubscribe to that if you wanted to. But the other one's going to be, hey, critical updates, information about your account, things that are critical that you need to know. And we don't ever want you to unsubscribe to that because, you know, if there's something critical that we need to communicate with you, we need to be able to communicate with you. So, and none of that's going to happen if for some reason, now it only goes in the spam folders maybe 10% of the time, but if that's you and it goes in your spam folder and then you don't ever whitelist us, you might never see our emails, and then it's going to really be hard for you to get going. So,
hey, I see a new note from Jeff asking us to.
Sure, we can do that, Jeff. We'll do that.
Yeah, I'm going to make a note to do a training on launch cart links.
I've done a couple. If you search through the Facebook units, they're in there.
Oh, good.
But we'll explain it here. We'll explain it when we're done, Jeff.
Okay, so Greg, go back to your launch cart store. And next step, let's show them where the link is to watch those quick start videos.
Quick start guide. Boom, right there. Now we should make that a different color, put a ring around it or something so it jumps out and bites you.
Yeah, make it red.
Where are the quick start videos, right? So in the quick start videos, how to log on, overview of your panel, enable your payment provider, how to create products, how to create your print on demand product, how to create print on demand using the design marketplace. So there's just a lot of videos. Some of them are 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I think the longest one's maybe 15 minutes. So This is going to show you everything you need to know right there, quick start guide.
Right, and then the other thing we should point out is just to the right of that is the knowledge base and support link. And we do see a lot of people asking questions in the Facebook group that they really should be clicking on that support link and going to our help desk page and put your question in there, especially things about the connection with Printful, if you're seeing any error messages. And so make sure you use the support desk because we do monitor that and people should be getting back to you.
Yeah, and Facebook is not the place to post support issues. Facebook is for, you know, maybe design issues or tools and, hey, take a look at my website, give me some critique. How can we help each other? But we don't really want it to be a technical support desk. That's not it. So you're gonna click right there, just right there on everybody's dashboard, knowledge base. And then when you click there, you can hit open the help desk. And the other thing you can do is, where is that feature thing? Let me see.
Request a feature. It's right in the middle.
Was it right there?
Yeah, it was on the screen. It was right in the middle.
Request a feature. If you have something that you want to have done that you're like, I can't do this, you can come here. You can search for, let's say, like everyone wants PayPal. I type in PayPal and then see accept PayPal payments. 77 people have voted for it, and it shows you that's in progress, where that's in progress. And then you can comment. So you can look for stuff that's coming. And then if you find something that's on here, like currencies, people want currencies, you just click on it and it votes. And the more votes we get, the more that's what's going to, you know, get us going. So if I go top, this is what we're working on: PayPal payments, change store visitors currency, ability to capture emails. All three of these are in progress right now. And when those get done, boom, we'll go down to multiple shipping. You know, we'll just do things in order.
Yep, based on your requests. All right, so next step. Now this is where we start to get into the details. So go ahead and go back to your regular screen, and we're going to click on the left-hand side on General Settings. And this is where, once you click on General Settings, this is where you're going to want to put in your actual store name, your support email, your address, your phone number. And then this is the part right here. So scroll up, Greg, and where he shows refund policy, and terms of service statement. Those will be blank when you first log in, but you're just going to click Generate Sample Refund Policy. And then each of those policies, and there's 4 separate sections, and like he's showing, you can expand the box. And as you scroll down, you'll see in a couple of them, you need to put in your support email. So make sure you read through them. And then there's a spot where it says either store domain, and it's in brackets, or support email. There it is right there with the red underscore.
And actually, you know what that is? That's a mail merge field, so they don't have to put it in. So it'll pull that from right here.
If they've set it up and put in their support email.
So when you put in your support email there, it'll automatically merge it in here.
And that's the next step in our checklist, is to set up a support email address. And so for our done for you stores, we will set you up a Gmail address. So for example, if you have myfunnyshirts@gmail.com, you can just set that up in Gmail. You'll want to make sure you monitor that Gmail account, but once it's set up and you own that email, you can put it in here as your support email address. Also, if you've bought a custom domain and you have your hosting account, you can sometimes get like support@yourdomain.com, and then that can be your support email. That's what I have on several of my stores, because I have a custom domain hooked up to Launchcart, and my hosting service gives me numerous free emails that I can set up.
Well, and again, I like doing customer service at, but you can do support at, customer service at, help desk at. You can create whatever you want. And if you don't have that set up right now, you still need to fill in something in that box, what your support email is going to be. You can change it whenever you want to change it, but you need to put something in there.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So that's all in that general setup, and make sure you click save.
Yeah, no, you have to hit save in the bottom, but this is another important thing. So the social sharing image, so whatever image you put here, and we tell you the size that we recommend, when you go to Facebook or any social sharing thing for that matter, and let me go back here for a second. And if I'm going to view my store, and I copy the URL to my store, and I go to Facebook, and I paste that into a Facebook post, watch what happens. So see, that's the image it's going to pull up, right? So this image right here, or where'd it go? This image right here is what's going to pull up as your image when you make a post for your main domain. Now, if you do it for a product, it's supposed to pull the product feed for you, but that's just the good for some sites. They need this feed. So make sure you put an image there, and make sure you put a little time onto what your SEO title is and what your description is. And this is the information. If somebody searched Google, this is what's going to come up on Google, on the search engines.
So you want to have your keywords for your products in that description right there, like we were talking about the other day.
Correct.
All right. So next we're down to starting to connect all of your financial services. So Greg, go back to the store, and
wait a second. Did we the 1,000?
Yeah,
oh, I put
that's what you just.
Yeah, I put a different size image in there. I noticed. I think 1,000 by 1,000 is better. Actually, I think we need to change that on Launchcart side. We should make a note of that, because the 768 or whatever that size. What was that size? This size right here, 1,200 by 628. I think that's really good for Facebook, but I don't think it works at all for Instagram. And the square one's going to be better for Instagram. Okay, so now we're going to go to where?
Make sure you click save at the bottom whenever you're on any of these pages. And then the next thing you're going to do is all the way in the bottom left corner is fulfillment services. And fulfillment services, this is Printful. And what you're going to want to do here is click on that link that says manage over to the right. And this is where you're going to set up your Printful account.
And actually, if you don't have a Printful account yet, it'll just say connect.
Right. And so yeah, if you start a brand new store, it should say connect. And when you click on that manage link, it's going to open Printful in a new tab. And that's where it's going to ask you to log into your Printful account. So here's a couple things. again, make sure you know the email and password that you set up your Printful account and how it's linked. Because this is where you're going to need to go to the left-hand side to where it says billing. And you're going to want to put in a credit card so that when anyone orders something from your store, it's going to be charged to that credit card. And that's where it's going to charge you the wholesale price, the price that the wholesale t-shirt plus the printing and shipping is going to be charged to. And well, you can set the shipping to be charged to you or to the customer. We can get into that later, but you're basically going to make sure that you have a billing method set up and that it's linked to the correct store. I ended up ordering some things in a brand new store and I hadn't added that store to my Printful account. So make sure that the billing methods all are listed and they equate to your store name if you have multiple stores.
Yeah.
So
and one little side note, real quick, the side note here is I always teach people the first thing when you get your store up and going and you're launched, log in, whenever you make a sale, whenever you go over here to orders and you see an order here under orders, then go into your Printful account and see, make sure the orders say the same thing, being fulfilled, waiting fulfillment. And if this ever says failed, it's 90% of the time it's because your credit card or your payment method didn't go through or you didn't have one put in. And then if that's the case, you just click on the order right here and then click on, you know, once you get the payment method in, put in, and you hit submit order again and it goes right through.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that's exactly what I had to do when I didn't have my payment method connected to my new store. So so we're talking about Printful, and so you're going there directly through the launch cart page on the bottom left-hand side, that's fulfillment. And then the next thing we want to do is click on settings.
Now we're going to let me show you one other thing. So if you don't go to this fulfillment settings, you go out, I want to play with it first, and you hit create new, and then you go to print on demand products, and you pick a product, and you want to start, you actually want to create a product. At the point where you get to right here, okay, I'm going to hit this product right here. If you do not have a Printful account, it's going to ask you to create a Printful account, and you're going to go through the Printful setup because you cannot, because at this point now we are on Printful and we're on our print on demand partner. This is not LaunchCart. This is Printful integrated with LaunchCart. So it's going to ask you the same thing as going here and hitting connect. It's going to ask you that same thing when you're doing create a new product. But that's critical that you get that. And it's also critical that you just understand the distinction between LaunchCart's the e-commerce platform. It's the website. And then Printful is the company that actually prints and fulfills and ships the product. And then Stripe is the merchant account, which is what we're going to next, right?
Right. So click on settings on the left and now go down to payment providers. So think about payment providers equals Stripe. And Stripe is how you're going to get paid. And so right now, if you go to a new store that isn't connected to Stripe, it's going to ask you to connect. And I had one screen over here where I was going to use my screen because I have a store that's not connected. But if it says disconnect, then you're already set up. But if you're not set up on Stripe, it's going to ask you to connect to Stripe. And there's a form that it will ask you to fill out a bunch of information. And you know, it's just a process you have to go through. It may take you as much as 15 minutes because you do have to give them personal information, your social security number, and a variety of information. But it's required in order for them to basically be able to pay you. And you're going to want to put in your bank account information. And that's how they're going to pay you for any product sales. And so you're going to hook up a checking account, let's say, or a savings account. And when somebody buys a product from you, what happens is the first thing is that you get paid. And the payment then, once Printful starts producing that product, then your credit card gets charged. And so all of this happens within just a day or two.
Yeah, no, and here's stripe.com. And so make sure you write down your username and password when you create your account from here. So when you hit connect, it's going to ask you for a username and password, and you're going to get an email from them too. But make sure you write that down, because this is the company that accepts the credit cards. They're the ones that process the credit cards. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, all that kind of stuff. And the very first time you get a sale, it usually takes maybe as many as 7 days to come into your account. So the first sale takes longer because it's your very first account. And then what they're going to do is they're pre-approving you. So we made arrangements with them that everybody gets pre-approved for a merchant account. Now, if you've ever filled out a form and tried to get a merchant account from a normal bank, it usually takes a week to 3 weeks to get approved. They go through you, they investigate your site, they do all kinds of stuff. But because it's with LaunchCard, we get pre-approval status. But if they come to check out your website and you don't have on your website your privacy policies, your refund policies, and this information down here, privacy, term of service, refund, they will shut your Stripe account down until you set that up. So you have to have this stuff set up, and then they won't go review your site until you start making sales. But if you start making sales, then they're going to go review your site and see if you're compliant with their rules and regulations. And if you're not, they'll shut you down until you do it. And so some people do get shut down because they didn't take the time to create these policies, but they will not give you a merchant account without these policies. And then once you get going, the money usually hits your account by the third day. So it's like if we make a sale on a Monday, we're going to get in our account on Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. If it's on a Friday, it's going to become Tuesday or Wednesday the following week.
Right. So remember, it's a two-step process to set up Printful, and it's a two-step process to set up Stripe. You're going to create your Stripe account, and then you have to come in and connect it within your LaunchCart store dashboard, which we're looking at right here.
Right. So now you got your Printful account, you got your Stripe account set up, and then that red bar is going to go across the bottom of your store. You're ready to get going on product building and product creation, right?
Right. But next, we're going to talk about something that Greg really likes to see people do first, which is create some categories and create your navigation bar. So Greg, go ahead and go back to the LaunchCard store, and on the bottom left, go to Appearance. Well, you can go to Categories first. Yeah. And you can create your categories. So it's that blue button in the top right corner, Create Category. And once you click on Create Category, you're just going to fill in like women's apparel, or I have just clothing, and then I have gear. And then you can create sub categories. Like on this one, there's accessories at the top level, and then hats, and then neck gaiters, and then mugs. But you could have, just a whole section on like drinkware and sell mugs and tumblers and that type of thing. So you can set this up any way you want. And when you create a product, you're going to want to mark which category that product goes into, because that helps people with the search on your site.
Yeah, no, and let me show you a couple things with this. So you can see I have signs, Jorgensen for president, men's, women, kids, accessories, right? So now if I hit view the store, you're going to see signs is here, women's, men's, shop all, accessories. So this is my nav bar. So this doesn't even match my categories, right? But if I click on accessories, and now my categories show up, you can see signs. This is the order that they're in. So if I want to change the order, let's say I want signs. See how signs is the top one under view all products? Let's say if I want to move signs under accessories, watch what happens. I can go in here, I can click right here. I can click this little thing right here, and I can drag this down, and I'm going to put it right after kids. Now I'm going to go, and on this one, I don't even have to hit save. I just have to hit refresh. So it automatically saves it. So see, signs is moved down here. So you can organize the order in which your categories show up on your website by dragging and dropping them. And the reason I like to say create your navigation bar, which is this bar up here, and then your category bar first, is because that really starts to get you to think about, hey, what do I want people to see? Do I want signs, men's, women? What do I want them to see? Let me go to a different site real quick. Shop.inspiration. This is my wife's website. So see, I got books, canvas art, home and living, mugs, men's apparel, women's apparel, children's apparel, blog. So I want you to think all this through so you can start setting those up. And then again, now we're going to go down to the navigation, right? So again, if we want to see what the site looks like, go to appearance, and we go to menus, and menus is the navigation. So again, wherever you see like these little like tic-tac-toe squares, whatever you call them, you can drag and drop these to get
That's
them.
the move square.
Yeah.
And remember, you can change these at any time. If you set it up and then you don't like what you have set up, you can go in and change your categories, and you can go in and change your navigation menus. Just remember that if you've linked products to those categories, then you'd have to go in and also change the products.
Yep. Exactly. So, but now what happens is when I go to create a product and I want to and I create my very first product and I go hit view the product, it's going to be cool because I'm going to hit view. What happened there? I can view my, that's weird. It's like taking me to oh, there it's moving me over. I view the product. I want to be able to see the product. I want to be able to see the nav bar, and I want to be able to see the categories. It makes my site look like we're getting more and more stuff done. So that's why I always start that way. You don't necessarily have to start with categories and nav, but it starts to get you to think about what you're doing, and you think, okay, I want this shirt to show up. And again, here's the questions that come up. This is a unisex shirt. So do I put that under men's? Do I put that under women's? Do I put that under apparel? So think through, how do you want your products to show up for your shoppers? How do you like it when you go shopping at a website? And again, I said, even though it's unisex, I put it under the women's section because this is, and I might create the product twice and put one under women's and one under men's. So depending on what your site is, your audience, what you're doing, you think that through. And I think by creating the categories in nav, it starts to get you in that mindset of how you might build your site.
And you can put a product in multiple categories. So you can put it in men and women's. And yeah, exactly. So that's really the next step, is we want to create some products. Now that we have sort of an outline in our minds about what kind of categories we're going to have and what kind of nav bar we're going to have, we really want to create some products even before we select a theme. Because unless you have products in your store, you can't really tell what each page is going to look like.
Well, so let me show them how to do that, because I'm going to show you a workaround. And real quick, just to prove the point, what she just said, see how this product is in 3 separate categories. Okay. Now, going back to your theme, or wait, appearance, themes, because this is kind of a little UI problem we have. So when you get to the theme library, you go, hey, I want to preview it. This is previewing your store with your products. That doesn't really preview it. But if you hover over this and you view example, you can see exactly what that store looks like filled up with products. Everything from the product to the categories to the products to everything. So if you go, hey, I like the way this looks, you can choose that theme. If you go down to this one, hit view example, and you go, okay, here's the slider for this store. You can look at how the sliders function. You see how the top categories function. You look how the products, you look at the categories over here, you look at the products, and every store has a little different look on how they look and how they feel. But that's how you see, you hit this little view example, and then you hit make active, and then that's your theme.
Right. And so the other reason I want to request that people create products and look at these examples before they start to customize their theme is that if you start customizing a specific theme and you upload your logo and favicon, if you decide to change your theme, you have to redo that. So that's a heads up.
Yeah.
So now if you go in and create some products and you have some products to basically display, we want to talk some more probably next week about creating graphics and creating products and some tips and tricks on using Printful. But essentially what you want to do next is then try those different themes, and they each have a different layout and appearance. They have a different place where the nav bar is located. They have different things in the footer. So when you're looking at those examples, like Greg pointed out, make sure that you've noted how those things look. And then the other thing is that the header and the footer, that's where you can enter the CSS code to change the color of the header and footer. And like we mentioned the other day in the training, there are some helpful things about how to change your CSS, which is in the custom code area.
And we can do this for you for 20 bucks. And we'll give you $20 worth of design credits if you want us to help customize your custom code here. But here's what the code looks like. Here's where you put it. And it helps change background colors and different things. So your site is really on point.
Yeah, so this is the whole area where now you really need to know what products you want to create. You've got to have your different graphics available in the correct sizes that Printful wants you to have. And so make sure you've got all those things gathered and sit down and experiment. Don't think you're going to set up a perfect product the first time, because it does take some work with the Printful setup and a couple other different things in order to really get a product that looks good. And so now we're into that part of the checklist that's very, it's really up to you.
Yeah. No, you look at your graphics, create sizes, and I was going to comment that when I create stores, I'll if I have a bunch of designs ready, I'll create all the coffee mugs at one time, and then I'll create all the short sleeve shirts, and then I'll create all the hoodies, and I'll create all the hats or whatever that is. So if I do multiple coffee mugs in a row, then I'm really getting good at building the coffee mugs and really understanding the coffee mugs. Or for me, it was neck gaiters. I really didn't build too many stores until COVID hit. And then when the neck gaiters came out, I must have built 50 neck gaiter products and designs and stuff like that. And I got really good with it. And you start to learn one product, then another product, and then you start to learn your favorite products. And you want the high quality, the low quality, you want more profit. You know, what do you want? And you start to learn that kind of stuff. You just keep going. And so we're going to keep building on this checklist, and then stuff like, you know, going back to my checklist here, creating.
Well, I want to go back up to the next, after you make sure you have a logo and a favicon created, you're going to upload those once you've selected your theme. So Greg, go ahead and go back to that themes section and show everybody on the bottom left where on themes, then go ahead and click on general. And this is where you're going to upload your logo and favicon. And on the logo, it's very important that it be long and not too tall, because the way, if you have a square logo, it doesn't fit in that area very well. So if you have a square logo, you might want to have it redone so that it's, I think it's 325 wide and 85 pixels high. So yeah, that's just a tip.
And you can try different sizes, but 325, 350 by 85 to 130 pixels is going to be good. But rectangular is crucial. And these themes, almost all of them are optimized for mobile. And see on mobile, a rectangular box doesn't take up a lot of real estate, but gets your brand out there. But if this was square, it would take up half of the whole mobile phone thing. We don't want that. So these are optimized for mobile. So you can come through here and look at mobile and scroll down. And that's the other thing. Always look at your site under mobile, because sometimes you create a graphic and it's like this graphic's cutting off the page. And you always want to look at your site on mobile. And I use a little Chrome plugin called the Mobile Browser Emulator. But I also look at it on my phone as well. So
perfect. And that's exactly why that's the very next thing on the checklist is, you know, once you've selected a theme and you've uploaded that logo and everything, the very next thing you want to do is look at it on mobile and see if it looks okay. And then the rest of the things on the checklist here, you can do them in different orders, but we don't want you to forget them. So from here on down, you know, make sure you're optimizing the size of your graphics files. Greg's talked about that a couple times in our previous trainings. We did yesterday or the day before, we did how to add the additional images from the mockup generator in Printful. And now the next one, add links to your social media accounts. This one, Greg, you want to go back to the store and show them where they're going to put those in, because we did talk, I think last week, about setting up your Facebook fan page. And your Facebook fan page, once you get a bunch of likes, it's going to be facebook.com/ and your fan page name. And so here you're going to want to go into the I think it's on the home page, or
You
no,
know,
it's right there under
it's on your themes, you know, right underneath the logo.
general.
Yep, right under the general, and then there at the very bottom here, display icons on the top of your store or on the bottom of your store. And again, I don't
Or
really like
both.
the top of the store, so I don't know why that's on. So I'm gonna turn it off, and then you just put the URLs right here, and then when you hit save, they automatically show up.
Great. Yep. So that's on the checklist because you definitely want to at least have your Facebook fan page on there. So the next thing we're going to talk about is to finalize all the general settings. So once you've done all this, go back to that general settings page and make sure that everything's looking correct and that you haven't, changed something suddenly, and just make sure all those general settings are correct again. And then find more graphics, add more products. I think the next thing on the checklist is something that you're going to want to continue to do, which is respond to feedback and customer questions. Make sure your support email is working so that if somebody has a question or a request, that you're answering those. And then the next couple items have to do with that creating your SEO title and description. And I put two different lines on here because your whole store has a SEO title and description in general settings, but then each product at the very bottom can have its own SEO title and description. And you definitely want to make sure that both of those are filled out. And we've talked a little bit about keywords yesterday and how to find some of the things that people are searching for. And that's exactly what you're going to want to put in at that section.
Yeah. And again, we didn't do it on this store because this is going to be closed down in another 3 weeks, but it is critical on your evergreen stuff that you want to spend the extra time, the extra information to do this and to put that into play. And then I had one other comment that I wrote down. Test your email, like she just said, and then order some sample products. Like I create a coupon code. What I typically do is I'll go over here to coupons and I'll create a coupon for like 99% off or something. And then I'll go buy something from my own store with my own coupon because I want to make sure everything's working. I'll go into LaunchCard, I'll see the order. I'll go into Printful, I'll see the order. And then I know it's working because the last thing I want to do is drive traffic and have it not work.
Right. So there's also, you can order samples from Printful at 20% off the Printful price. And yeah. I'm going to be doing a video of ordering a sample from Printful also probably next week sometime. So now we're down toward the very end of our list. And this is where you can buy a custom domain and connect it to your store. That's totally up to you. But the other things within Printful that we haven't, or within the LaunchCart store that we haven't talked about, are the abandoned cart emails. And this is one of those things I think in other e-commerce platforms you have to pay extra for. And so right in the settings, I believe it is.
No, it's under orders. Well, under orders
there we
is
go.
where you can see, under orders, you can see the abandoned carts that are actually happening. You can see all these ones that we're having right here.
Right, but I think it's under settings.
Edit it, it's under settings, correct.
Right, yeah. So if you click on that abandoned carts under settings, these are email templates that if somebody comes into your store and they actually start an order and they put in their email address, then if they abandon and just close the browser window or they get distracted, it's going to send this to them. And you can change whether it sends in an hour or a day, and you can set up a couple different emails with different wording. So make certain that
right now, Lane, there was some bugs with email 2 and 3. They weren't reporting right, and they were emailing a lot of people. So in all transparency, those are gone currently. So right now there's just one email. So we have to fix that bug and put them back. But the idea we wanted was you don't have to do anything. They're automatically going to be programmed. They're automatically going to go out whether you do anything, because that's like saving you time, and it's going to make you more money. But if you did want to customize them, add a coupon, give a discount, customize the language, we're going to give you the ability to do that as well.
Right. So I think the big thing would be to change the subject line to include the name of your store or the product the type of products that you sell, because that's like branding your abandoned cart. And then maybe it'll catch their attention and they'll go, oh yeah, I got a phone call and I never finished ordering that thing for my sister.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much is a good review of this launch cart store checklist. We're going to clean it up just a little bit. I'm going to add a couple things to it, and we'll maybe like this image size here. And then
we'd also like, we'd like feedback from everybody based on your experience setting up your store. What else should we add to this? What needs more clarification? What did you come up with that was puzzling?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll make a post in the group. We'll post that PDF, and you guys can have access to it, make your comments, and we'll update it again and do that kind of stuff. So with that being said, we're about 40 minutes into this, a little longer than normal. Let's go through a couple questions. So the first one that Jeff asked was, can you explain launch links button and when you get a chance? So I'm going to go back to my screen. Oops. Let me add that to my stream. There we go. So launch links is up here in the top. So when you get to your dashboard, you have this little link up here, switch to launch links, and launch links allows us to create a short link that I'm going to go ahead and paste this link over here. I don't know if we set this up. So Joe Jorgensen, see now what it would look like on mobile is it'll look like that on mobile. So that one's not rendering properly. What's going on there? Sometimes this mobile emulator doesn't render the page properly. Let me do this. I'm going to actually go to Instagram. Show you mine, or Celebrity Lifestyle Brands. So here's Celebrity Lifestyle Brands launch links, and I click on this, and then it brings up, I have one link because I was promoting a masterclass. That's all I was promoting, so I put one link there, and it's branded with our logo, launch links. So what you want to do is on your Instagram, you make posts, and you say link in bio, and I'll show you real quick. Let me show you launch cart. So I've been doing it with launch cart, actually. With launch cart, I'll post a photo like this, your design here, link in bio, right? And then they go to the link in bio, and there's my launch links link. And now it pulls up. You want to set up the free e-commerce platform? You want a done for you store? Do you want to supercharge your bio links? You want to read our blog posts? You want to get support? Or you want to go to any of our social media? Boom, it's all nice and beautiful in one little place. Let's see if it renders right here. Well, that's weird. It's just this little emulator is not rendering this page, but they look beautiful on mobile. So that's what launch links is, and it's super easy and super intuitive to set up. Let me go back. Where am I? Right here. You basically hit add a new link. You give it a title. You give it a URL. You can have it. You can put a timer on it so it schedules it to show up at a certain time and go away at a certain time. You can give it a feature, so it's your featured link, and you can make that go away. I can delete them by hitting this. As I'm building them, it's going to look like this on mobile. So that's what it looks like on mobile, even though that mobile emulator was not showing me that. So that's what it's going to look like. And then over here, I can hit analytics, and I can see if anyone's clicking on the link or if anything's been going on. And again, they're not using this, so this one doesn't have any analytics. You can change the theme. If I want to change the background, I just click that, and you can see it instantly shows up over here, what it's going to look like with that different theme. And we're going to continue to add more themes. You can add your photo right here. And again, you can give it search engine optimization. And if it has sensitive content, you can have like a little, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. What's the word I want to say? It's like a little warning before they get to go to it. So I didn't even know we had that in there. Analytics, and then your social icons right here. So you can add your Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Spotify and YouTube and Social Cloud and LinkedIn and all the different things right there. So that's what launch links is. I hope that answers your question, Jeff. Boom. Okay. And then Jeff also brought up this point. So Printful has a hidden cost file digitization, and it's really not hidden. It actually does say that in your product creation. So whenever you do an embroidered product and you have your logo, the very first time they embroidered on a shirt or a hat, or no matter what they're embroidering on anything, they're going to charge you a one-time $6.50 fee for that embroidery, and then after that, you don't get charged that again. So I've had a few people say I didn't know that and I lost money on my first sale, but that's just part of getting it done, of what's going on there. So sorry you didn't know about that. And then David said, have to watch later, real busy. See you later. Okay. Thanks, David. Any other questions? I don't see any other questions. Jose said this, which is kind of interesting. I was actually able to input a support button on my site, which is, it's not Tilio, it's TIDIO. I'm going to go there real quick. See, TIDIO. See what he's got. So this is a live chat bot, and it's a customer support desk where you can have stuff like this, chat with us, and he installed this in the HTML section, and boom, it's on his site. So that's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that, Jose. That's awesome. And that's the kind of stuff that people are serious about, doing e-commerce. They're going to get stuff like this going. Now we used, I can't even remember the name of it. What's the one we used? I used Hotjar. I used Hotjar to visit recorders, but there was another one I used for live chat.
I thought Intercom was one of the ones that some sites use. There are several different ones.
Yeah, no, there's
but you do have to take the time to program in your content, meaning you really have to think about your frequently asked questions. And so if somebody asks a question with a particular key phrase in it, then you have to put in the correct response and do some content writing for those canned responses.
Yeah, and one of the things I used to recommend a lot was just getting live chat and putting live chat on there. And I'll tell you a quick little story. When we first started in e-commerce back in 1997, 98, 99, 2000, my son was only 15 and he was building remote control airplanes, and he was selling remote control airplanes on the internet, and he wasn't making any sales. He put a live chat button on a sale. Here, click here to ask me any questions. Every single time somebody got in a live chat with him, he sold him a plane for $400. So he went from making nothing to, when he was like 16, to making $4 or $5 grand a month selling planes on the internet because of live chat. So live chat does a couple of really good things. One, it's massive trust increase. So if somebody's like, they're like, I want to buy from these people, but I never heard this name, or can I trust these people? Am I really going to get it? Should I give them my credit card? Is this secure? Is this safe? They might hit the live chat just to see if somebody answers and if you're there. And so you can build that trust up. And then the other thing is they might have a question about size, color, will this shrink, whatever that might be. So if you're the type of person that's home and you're at your computer and you're working all day and you want to add live chat to your box and answer a few live chats to kind of get things going, I highly recommend it. And then and I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. We had a live chat program. They charged $1 a day. It was what was it? It was $24 a day. It was $768 a month. It was like $1 an hour. And I had live chat agents 24/7 on my website. And it was awesome. So it was like $768 a month, but it became an income. It wasn't an expense. It became income because they were answering live chats and converting people into sales. So live chat's awesome. Hey, Jose, what's the URL? Oh, there, he just gave it to us. So we'll pull up his site and we'll look at it. We'll see. Let's see. Boom.
Discipline City.
Oh, he's done a really good job on his site. It looks fantastic. And see down here, it says chat with us. Boom. Hi there. Welcome to our website. Ask us anything. Get started.
Oh, share your screen.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm looking at myself, everybody. Having fun all by myself. Here it is. Let me start over again. I'm gonna hit refresh. So we're Jose. He's done a really good job on this site, and the slider, it looks awesome. Look at this, beautiful. Free shipping on orders over $50. Use free ship at checkout. And then see here it says, now this was like that. So it says chat with us. I click on chat with us, and I just click get started. And boom, there you go. I'm a bot working for the Discipline City. Choose which one of the things you want to do and write a message. So it's awesome. Now I'm sure that you could get on live and he could be a live operator, not have a bot, but everyone's getting used to these bots. So it's kind of cool. I do like the live operator stuff, but His site looks great. His color schemes look good. Everything's looking really good. I like his logo. Look how his logo looks really, really good in that rectangular size, right? It looks nice and clean and crisp. It's awesome. So good job, man. And we want to thank you, Jose. You're very active in the group and helping people and commenting people. We want to say thank you. We appreciate you very much. Boom.
Right. And we also want to ask for people to put in if they want their site reviewed tomorrow in our hot seat. We're going to invite you to a Google Meet.
Let's see. Yeah, where was that post? Did anyone comment on the post yet?
I'm looking for it right now. I think you put that out there late yesterday. You know, yeah. Facebook, it's already so far down. Who's next? It's from yesterday at 2:47. So ADTs is the only person right now that's asked to be reviewed. So anybody else jump in there? We can probably do at least 3 reviews tomorrow. And we'd love for you to be on live with us.
Yeah. So I got that up there. So I'm going to give you, here's the post. Comment here to get in the hot seat. All right. Well, it's time to kind of wrap things up. So it's kind of gone over my time. I got a phone call coming in I got to take. I want to say thank you from all of us at LaunchCart. We appreciate you. We appreciate your business. And you got to do what I do. Wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude and tell somebody you love them. Peace, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.